Hi, Alex.
Hello.
How are you? It's so quiet when you first join. I can never tell if it's on.
Oh, mine?
No, just in general, whenever I
Yeah.
join a Zoom call, it's like dead quiet. Weird.
Everyone's trying to make sure that they don't say anything like crazy by accident.
Yeah. Hi, Ken.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Alex.
How you doing?
Going fine. My family is consumed by the impeachment. My family is consumed by the impeachment trial.
Oh, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
Oh, I went to the wine store in town today, like at 5, when I left work, and they had it on the radio, maybe the radio, and they were all like gathered around, like very concerned. And I was like, you guys must be doing a really good business lately. Like, this must be good for you.
What do they say?
But I don't know, watching it in real time, any of it in real time is like too crazy.
Yeah, I'm bad like that. Alex, were you able to not with the agenda to make it so it wasn't with all the markups and the editing?
I did, but when you sent it the time that you said like, no, I did send it and I opened it, it was normal.
Okay.
But the first email, it was something else.
Yeah, so I usually take like an agenda or minutes, whatever I'm working on. I take the most recent one and I just kind of blow it all away, and so that the formatting is there. So that's why it was so messy. It was last week.
But the embarrassing thing, Aaron, is that it took me like 3/4 of the document before I realized I wasn't reading the agenda for tonight.
Yeah, you're reading the minutes from the...
I was reading the minutes from a meeting I was present at. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This sounds familiar. This isn't, yeah.
Reggie is not going to be able to make it, and neither is Bob. So, and I forgot to invite Stacy. And I also forgot to invite Max, which I've been doing, unfortunately. So
she's mad at you anyway, so it's cool.
We have a love-hate relationship. So I think that leaves maybe Jess Lunt and 1 or 2 other people. So it's 6:01. We'll give them another minute or two.
So just as a warning, Mary McNamara called me today and wanted to take a position on turbidity.
You're breaking up a little, Ken. Hi, Jess.
Hi.
And I told her that she needed to contact you as a chair of the WWE to make that consideration, but I didn't think we had anything to do with the lower Esopus, but she thought this is something Woodstock should weigh in on. But she knew about it.
What was the question?
Yeah, we missed the first part. You were breaking up.
Oh, Mary McNamara called me today and wanted Woodstock to take a position on turbidity in the lower Esopus Creek. And I told her that would be up to the WEC to make a decision on that, and I encouraged her to talk to Alex about it.
Good.
To know Alex, but maybe she had been in her store, buying toothpaste or shampoo or whatever.
She definitely knows me, because didn't she come to this meeting once?
Yeah, she did the presentation on the Saugerties.
It's the classic composting presentation where we had sound but no visuals.
Oh yeah.
She has 3 times not answered the question I have asked her about how to accurately measure if more compost is being redirected to the compost.
Well, she probably doesn't know.
So she definitely knows who I am.
You're a troublemaker.
So that was just a warning that you should be expecting a phone
Okay.
call or a visit from her.
Hi, Jess.
Hi.
Jess,
Alex?
when's the winter farmers market coming? I'm ready to shop.
Okay, I think they have one in Kingston.
I'm not gonna drive to Kingston.
I know. We are, this is something that we're considering, obviously not this year. It will not be this year, but we're opening, probably we're gonna open 2 weeks earlier in May.
Cool.
That's exciting. So we're
Very
getting
exciting.
closer than we normally would be. Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
exciting.
All right. I'll formally, I don't think it's formal, but I'll formally start the meeting. So
Woo! Where's your
Oh.
gavel?
I had one more question before we formally started, but Ken, do you know why at the Ulster County Climate Smart meeting, everyone has to say the Pledge of Allegiance?
No, I don't know that. That just started this year.
I found it to be like very disconcerting when I attended for the first time.
I don't know why they started that because I hadn't been going to those meetings since March of last year. And at that point, there was, when they had the live meetings, there was no Pledge of Allegiance.
Wait, they do it on the Zoom meetings?
They do it on the Zoom meeting.
Like everyone talking at the same time and making a terrible noise?
going like this.
They touch their hearts. Aaron and I were so freaked out.
Well, I wasn't freaked. It wasn't my first time hearing it, but yes, it is it's an awkward moment because it's awkward. It's awkward.
What it reminded me of was that during the town board meetings, Jay Wink would never stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Now through Zoom, we have everyone giving the Pledge of Allegiance without standing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I wasn't sure if it was compulsory for some, what it was. I just,
No compulsory.
it's confusing.
No.
Okay.
I think ever since that lawsuit in the 60s, it's no longer compulsory to do anything with the pledge.
Yeah.
Well, the Ulster County Climate Smart Committee isn't a standing committee. It's just something
Right.
that's set up by it's set up by the legislature, but it's no different than what this committee is.
Okay.
Well, it's just got set up. It's not a legislative committee. It's not a formally established committee in law like the WEC is. It's sort of like what we are compared to the WEC. It's just kind of a task force that meets periodically.
Okay. I just knew if someone knew, Ken, that it would be you.
Yeah. Well, that was strange to me, that, and I don't know what started it.
All right. Okay. Sorry, Aaron. I won't take
No, that's quite all right. It's quite all right. You always have good questions, Alex.
I want to ask about Alex's hair because it looks so long.
It's so long. It's my COVID hair.
I can't believe it.
It's
Okay,
also half
COVID?
white. Yeah, because I haven't been able to
cut it.
do anything to it.
It's
Yeah.
COVID. It
COVID.
sounded like
COVID.
I thought you said- I'm sorry. Never mind.
As soon as I get my vaccination, I'm going to the hair salon
Nice.
in a
I've
year.
gotten 2 haircuts since COVID, and I go to a barber who must listen to Fox News because I get
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
Kingston?
yes in Kingston.
I'm not even going to go there. Okay. So
Okay, pardon me.
that's okay. So I'm a little bit more prepared for this meeting. I did send out an agenda. Did everyone have a chance to look at it?
Well, I couldn't understand it because all these red marks all over it.
Okay, so I apologize, Jess. I think you came late. So I take an old agenda and I just blow it away. So all you have to do is go to review tab in Word and say no markups, and that'll make everything else disappear.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to put it up on the screen?
I'm happy to just follow along.
Okay. It's not that important. It'll just help me kind of have that.
Yeah.
I did put at the top of it, I did go ahead and break out all of the quarterly deadlines for Climate Smart for this year. So the first one, which obviously passed, was January 8th. And then the second one is April 2nd. So we only have a few items that are expiring the end of August this year, and with regards to upcoming. So the date that I think we'll look at as far as having things submitted by is the 7/2 deadline. So we have until July 2nd to kind of get everything submitted. Does that sound okay to everybody?
Yeah.
Ken, does that sound okay to you, since you're going to be uploading a lot of these? Ken?
This is that, some of the stuff that's going to be up will cancel out our existing awards. It has that red mark on it that says if this changes, you have to wait till the next or it becomes active again.
So should we, okay, I have a question about the money.
I did want to talk about funding a little
Because
bit later.
I guess my question is, if there's a chance that there might be a period of time where our certification is fluctuated, will that be like we should get any kind of thing application submitted before then, right?
Yes.
And then kind of can have a break and then redo it after we get the certification back?
No, our goal would be to not lose the certification, to keep it current.
But
So
is what Ken saying that there's going to be a period of time where we have to wait to get it again?
no. Ken, I think you actually, so what it is, I think you're breaking up, and what happens is you're actually just quiet and then your audio comes in. So we're not hearing the first part of what you said.
All right, well, my granddaughter is on her video game, so let me turn off the video here.
Kick her off.
Oh, I get kicked off. No, I mean, there's that warning across the actions we've gotten credit for that says if you change this, it won't be reactivated until the next review.
What Ken is referring to, Alex, is on the website. It'll have on items that we got approved for, they can put notes, and they actually put about, I want to say like 19 or 20 different notes on actions that were approved. And usually it'll say like rationale for approval, and they'll say we approved this because of this, but it's going to expire in August. And on some of them, which Ken, I believe, is referring to, it says this is approved as is, but oh gosh, I'm trying to think of an example. The farmer's market actually is one where it says you have to resubmit proof that the farmer's market is still active for 2021. So for instance, we got credit saying there was a farmer's market, and I think what they're trying to avoid is, oh, let's say that where there's a farmer's market and we have a web page and we pretend there's a farmer's market for a year, we get credit for it. That goes towards our certification, and then there's no more farmer's market, and they want to make sure that you're actually doing it.
Okay.
So
and see what happens.
Sorry?
I'll update one of our action items and see what happens.
Yeah, when I talked to, I don't know if maybe we should wait for Alex to come back. When I talked to Dazzle, she said that they don't, this was last summer, and I don't know if it's changed. You're muted, Alex.
She said she'll be right back.
Okay, got it. Dazzle said they don't actually go in there and look at it until it's during that submission deadline break. So my guess is they don't, Ken, but you could try it.
Okay.
I don't have an issue. I think that's sure. So I guess we'll ask Alex when she comes back if that answered her question.
Well, she had a question about me.
There she comes. I just saw her hand.
Okay, she had a question about money. Yes, I think I know where she's going with that.
Sorry, one of my kids went missing briefly. So they're found.
Oh, good. So you didn't have to do an Amber Alert. Good.
No Amber Alert, no.
Okay. So, Alex, I hate to say it, but did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. I heard part of what you said, but yes, it did. No, I was just sorry, I guess there won't be a time where we are no longer bronze. Most likely.
Potentially that could happen if we just stayed where we are and didn't do anything, then yeah, eventually we would lose the certification because there are things that expire.
Mm-hmm.
Actions that expire.
While we're waiting for them to recertify the things that we've already done.
Okay, so as of, that won't happen until the July 2nd. So
Okay.
if we do nothing through the end of June, we're fine. Because
Okay.
nothing's set to expire and we'll still maintain our points. I'm trying to, am I answering your question?
But I get, yeah, so if we want to be on the safe side, anything that we might want to use our certification for, if we're like applying for things, we should try to do before it might go away for a temporary amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I think I like what you're saying, which is why would we wait until July? Just get the stuff in as we finish it.
No, that's not what I was
Is
saying.
that
But
kinda
that's
what you're
even,
saying?
That's even better than what I was saying. So let's,
I think that's a good approach.
yeah. No, just if we want to try to apply for grants that we need to have the certification for, we should try to do it before it might lapse.
I see. I understand now. Okay. All right. Yes. I will talk about grants in a minute. How's that? And funding. I just want to go over the completed items that need updating real quick. The NRI, that's actually, we got points for starting the NRI and all the documentation submitted, but then it expired in September of last year. So Ken, I put your name next to that in parentheses, signaling that you would stay on top of that and submit what was needed. I put in italics what is required because sometimes they do kind of change those requirement documents. So
Well, the phone conversation, actually the phone conversation before this one, you were going to follow up with Jackie to get a copy of the certified resolution.
But okay, yes.
That the-
However, if you see what's in italics, it says what we can submit is a report on progress of actions. So if you want to submit your report again, we wouldn't need the resolution.
No, we need the resolution for 2 points. And there's no progress report to submit on the NRI. We just submit the NRI. It's done.
Okay, so Ken, can I ask you after this to go in and look at it? Because I was understanding it differently. I was understanding it that it's actually expired as of 9/30/2020, and that if you see it, what I wrote on the agenda, because what we got points for was the drawdown. No.
That's totally different.
I know. Sorry, I misspoke.
On drawdown, that's.
No, I misspoke. I totally misspoke. I take it back.
So you're going to go talk to Jackie about getting a copy of the resolution that was passed by the town.
Yes, I will do that.
Adopting the NRI. And I'll send you my original request to Jackie for that.
All right.
This is tax season though. I'm sure she's busy, you know, so, but, and stuff isn't really working the way it used to work at the town offices.
Okay. All right.
But just to go back to
What?
just to go back to the drawdown issue, I've put together that, put together a statement on the pollinator pathway and our participation with that to re-up those points.
Yes.
Submit that, see what happens.
So so you're gonna upload that to the site, right? You haven't done it yet?
I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
The red warning labels kind of slowed me down, but that one's going to expire anyway, so I'll try it, see what happens.
All right. Do you think you can upload it before our next Climate Smart meeting?
Yeah, I'll probably upload it before the evening's up.
All right, great. Okay.
Maybe tomorrow.
And
If your granddaughter gets off the game.
Ken, just so you know, because I go to all of those meetings.
That's how we get credit, because you go to all those meetings.
So they are working on doing some plantings in town on town property. I don't know if that would like cement the link somehow for your application, if it's something that's being done.
No, I think we have enough.
Okay.
As more stuff gets done, just add that, but that, we have a year of doing nothing just to keep the points, which is what happened with drawdown.
So let me ask you something, Alex, because what we can submit is the presentation materials that are used. So was there any kind of advertisement or web pages about them doing this planting on town property?
No, because I think they just are, it's going to be something that obviously would start in the spring. But they've been, they're like looking for people to volunteer to like plant something in that triangle by 375 and on the green and like by Como. So I can ask them, I mean, is that helpful if there's some sort of like public?
Yeah.
Well, when the public comes out, I picked that up.
Right. I mean, if we don't need it before the springtime, we could also wait until it happens, and then I'm sure there will be some sort of.
Because I have all the videos that you listed, all the video presentations.
Okay.
And other links.
Yeah. But if you could get those presentations, that would be helpful, because that shows an outreach and involving the public.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right. The charging stations. Need to submit documentation that the charging station is still in operation. I will put my name by that one because that's just getting the report. Unless you want to get it from, do you want to get it from Pam or do you want me to? You got the previous one.
It comes from Ashley.
Oh, I thought it came from Pam. I'm sorry.
Well, it comes the charging reports go to the supervisor.
Okay, do you want to get it from Ashley/Pam/whoever, or do you want me to?
I'll get them eventually.
All right. So I'm going to put your name next to that.
All right.
All right. Farmers market. So yes, we just need to submit the resolution for 2021 that it's going to be at the Mountain View parking lot. Okay. Is there any way you could get your hands on that and send it to me?
Yeah.
I don't think it's been adopted yet.
Well,
Talked about the last meeting was the resolution that was adopted for the Rock City Road parking lot.
The town board has approved it, but
well, there's nothing on the agendas that are published, minutes that are published, showing that approved anything for 2021.
Okay.
Well, sometimes they're.
You know who my new liaison with the town board is?
Ooh.
Reggie.
Oh, well, he's the one who.
We're actually going to talk. We're going to talk this weekend, so I can ask him.
Because
okay,
what I
that would
thought
be great.
The town board was nothing more than the resolution that was passed last summer, dealing with the Rock City Road parking lot.
Right. Yeah. That. Yeah.
And that would.
Sometimes, Ken, I found, Ken, that sometimes the town board, they have things and discuss them at the meeting. That's not on the agenda. So I'm not surprised. That was probably maybe at the last minute, you know, they just said, oh, let's just throw this in.
Minutes, it doesn't exist.
Okay. All
Well,
right, Ken.
Yeah, we got approval from the town board in the fall to move forward with that being our new location. So
That's in the form of a resolution, Jess?
not in the form of a resolution, in the form of like Bill saying the town board all said okay.
Okay. And okay.
Yeah.
So all we need is a document saying
Okay.
that they all agreed to it. So,
And we need by July 2nd.
yes, I'm actually going to say can I change it to April 2nd?
Sure.
I'd rather get stuff in by the quarter-second deadline, so we're not scrambling.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, and then also, can you also just we did this last year, just like, usually you put your schedule up on your Facebook page.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah. So I'm looking for the 2021 farmers market schedule that you post online.
That we
I
post.
assume you haven't posted the
We haven't
2021 schedule yet.
No, we haven't posted anything yet. We probably have, yeah, but that stuff will start. You mean like the opening day stuff like that? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
last year sorry.
No, I'm saying that'll probably get up pretty well. She'll probably start posting about that soon, but yeah.
All right. And last year we just had like a screenshot of it, which was fine.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Great.
It's basically just to say, it's basically your schedule, and it has to, just so you know and understand, you have to meet more than like twice in the calendar year. That's all.
Okay.
So
Well,
showing the schedule will prove that. That's all.
Yeah.
There
Aaron,
is a method.
as chair of the task force,
What?
Sorry, what was that, Ken?
were you reappointed as chair of the task force?
Yeah, so wow, Ken, you're going out of order, mister. I'm gonna have to get a gavel.
You left that one off.
Well, I skipped it.
That's what I mean.
So, okay, well, I skipped it. I'm coming back to it, mister. Hold your horses. All right. Social media. So this one's kind of an easy one, but Alex, I didn't know if you wanted to maybe help out. We basically just have to submit a document which has the website link, and we use the WEC Facebook page. But since you started the Instagram for the WEC too, right?
It's up and running.
Okay, so do you mind if we post some climate smart stuff on the Instagram page as well?
Oh, no, I mean, not at all.
I just wanted to formally ask you, so it's documented and in the minutes.
Oh, yes, we can. Everyone has the password. In all the WEC members have the password. Not saying that you should do it, but like if anyone has something they want to put on there, they're welcome. I don't want it to seem like I'm the gatekeeper, I guess is what I'm saying. It's up to anyone, but we can certainly, I'm happy to post. Actually, the NRI was up there today. That's a climate smart item.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
And anything about the farmer, you know, like whatever, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, the farmer's market. So
We're not trying to be like influencer. Like, yeah, we can do whatever. It's fine.
okay. So I'll probably like throughout the year try and make sure that we have stuff posted. I'll do it myself to the website or to the WEC Facebook page or to the Instagram, because then we just have to like take screenshots and show that we are actively posting stuff. That's all. So
and do they tell me like what that involves? Is it just stuff that we're doing, or is it anything having to do in general with the program? Does it have to do with the program, or is it what we're doing?
So what it needs to do is it needs to be, they want to see that we have a a mechanism for communicating with the public. So they want to see that we are telling the public about events and activities.
Okay.
So
Now we're also going to have our email list too, if anyone ever signs up for it.
right, that thing.
That thing, yeah.
Okay. So, but to answer your question, so anything doing with Climate Smart, we can post, like partner events, like if Ulster County Climate Smart has something and we want to post it, all of that is good stuff and considered.
Okay.
But not if it's Socrates. We won't post if it's Socrates.
No, in fact, we may, schedule things the same time as Socrates.
No, let's get like a social media rivalry going.
I know, it's on.
Who
It's
can get
on.
people, like this more?
Totally.
We should. That's a good idea. We should have a
It's a
contest.
good way to generate interest.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
I'm actually writing that down.
Our website.
Ken, what was that?
Socrates has a terrific climate smart website.
They do. Have you guys seen it, Alex?
No.
I saw that. Even their town site's better than ours.
Socrates is so. You know what? I mean, credit where credit's due, guys.
Socrates has their act together.
It's all
I hate
Vern.
to say it.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of Vern, does anyone on this call, I've left Vern 2 messages, but I don't want to be a pest. Does anyone have, I only have his work number through the town of Socrates.
Vern
Yeah, I have it.
Risk?
Benjamin.
Okay.
No, Vern Benjamin.
Hang on. I have it. Yeah. I know I sent him a couple emails and then I didn't want to call because I didn't want to have to talk to him on the phone. 845 901 2903.
Ken, do you talk to him? For some reason, I thought you had some kind of a relationship where maybe you talked to him with involving other things. Is that
Most
mistaken
of
of
the
me?
conversations are via email.
Okay. Have you interacted with him recently?
Got an email from him today.
Okay. Can you maybe just let him know I'm trying to get in touch with him?
I can.
Thank you. All right. Lastly, the LED streetlights. Ken, I see what you were saying at our last meeting about this. The documentation of the final installation, which will be who knows when. Does anybody want to kind of take ownership of that and keep an eye on it?
Wait, what happened to that? I feel like last year when I first started, everyone was talking about it all the time and then it fell off.
We've been talking about LED streetlights since 2012. We have spent more for consultant reports than we have for the streetlights at this point.
So it sounded like it was happening and now is it not happening?
No, it's happening. We paid to have the streetlights replaced, but Central Hudson won't replace those until the existing lights fail. And the
Got it.
the existing lights have a life expectancy of between 2 and 3 years.
So Ken, is that something that they'll do each one at a time as they go out, or do we?
No, they'll do it as as they see a burned down streetlight.
So each one at a time.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
be a normal maintenance. My view. I don't. They're not going to go out and do a mass replacement at this point.
So that's kind of just lingering, Alex, like most of it's done, but we're waiting for the remaining lights that haven't failed to fail so they can
Well,
replace
we
them.
keep track of that every month when we get the bills from Central Hudson, and I'll publish a report, by the end of the year explaining, where we stand on it.
Okay.
But we got full credit for it, and it's good for 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, I was, it's good until 2025. I was curious because it looks like we got 10 points based on 25% of our streetlights. I thought we had more than that.
No, we got 10 points based on your submitting the invoice or the voucher. And the resolution. So we signed up for 100. So they give us, it's right in the documentation that's on the website.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ken. There was some interference there.
Well, it's right on the documentation that's on the website for the LED lights. That's what they gave us 100% credit because of the voucher that was submitted and the check that was submitted to Central Hudson.
All right, I'll have to go back and read that. I must have misunderstood that because I do remember them saying that they were in receipt of what we gave, which was the invoice and everything.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go back and read that. Ken, do you want to keep an eye on that, or do you want me to?
No, we keep an eye. That's part of our routine of following the electrical usage in town. We collect that every month.
Okay. All right, I'll put your name there.
Be ashamed if someone went out there one night with like a rock.
Yeah, I mean, someone suggested, shoot out some of the lights, so they'll replace them with LEDs.
Like a patriot.
Patriot, did you say?
Patriot, yeah. Isn't that what all the violent people call themselves now?
Yeah, patriots, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think we should worry about LED.
Breaking all the lights in town, trying to get some energy efficient bulbs.
And I'll put together a end of the year report to show where we stand, but I don't think we need to worry about LEDs anymore.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
8 years discussing them.
I just want to make sure it doesn't fall off our radar. We're so close. That's all. That's the only reason I brought it up. So,
yeah.
All right. Those are all the action items that we got credit for, but we just need tweaking or going to expire. The one item that we still actually did not get credit for, thanks to me, is the fleet inventory. I'll follow up with that. I'm just struggling with getting a procedures document or procedures manual or where to file it with the town. Does anyone on the call have any suggestions?
Well, it was Heather who keeps track of that.
Right, but so where do we file the document that says Heather will keep track of that?
Well, you file that on the CSC website.
No, it has to be filed with the town. Like a town procedures.
Don't know.
See, I don't know. All right, I'll keep picking away at that. I'll keep picking away. I think I'm asking the question wrong anyway, so. All right, confirmation that all the town appointments have been made for the year. I'm coming back to that. I haven't done it. I will do it. I have not done it yet. Okay.
Didn't they all already happen?
I think they did. I just haven't got official confirmation. And Ken needs official confirmation.
I don't need official confirmation. It's the CSC website that needs official confirmation.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Ken doesn't give a fuck.
No, I mean, I'm just telling you what the website says.
Thank you, Alex. It's an official meeting now. Thank you. Okay. That brings us to lastly, but not leastly, the new items. And one thing I'll say real quick is tomorrow night, Kingston, City of Kingston or Town of Kingston? I think it's City of Kingston.
City.
Is having their climate action plan kickoff meeting. I sent you guys the info. It's at 5:30. I actually am going to try to attend because I think it'll be interesting because I'm a geek.
So David and I have been David was emailing with this woman that he knows who is like the mayor's wife, it turns out. Julie.
Yeah, Noble. She's head of Julie Noble.
Okay. Do you also know her?
I know of her. She was running the environmental for Ulster County.
Yeah. So he was emailing back and forth with her about their about this with them. And I was trying to sort of like gently see if he felt comfortable asking her like how much it cost and how they got the funding. And his response was that she's the mayor's wife, which wasn't an answer to that question. So maybe he doesn't feel comfortable. I mean, you know, I don't know, but it seemed like it would be to our benefit if we could, I don't know, find out from some of these towns, like, because, you know, they used that, it said in that their article, like what consultant they used and how, you know, like how long it took. But that must have cost some money.
Yeah, so it's kind of a touchy topic because there was some questions from the town board about how the money was spent. You can Google it. However, I think what we're concerned with, I think you're right. They did get funding. They did have a consultant, and that is kind of what we want to mirror, right? That's what we want to do. So,
and I imagine ours would be much less, being like a what are we, a 10th of this? I mean, you know, whatever, 100th of the size.
Yes, I see what you're saying. So that brings me to the other thing. So I'm trying to find some kind of funding. So on the Climate Smart community website for these action items, it says funding available. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? So I was looking at the Grants Gateway, which is what we got to sign on through the WEC, through the town. And I reached out to probably a half a dozen people, and one of those people finally got back to me and explained it. And I was basically looking for a needle in a haystack. And the Grants Gateway is kind of like the place to look for larger sums of money through like federal programs. So this person suggested that I reach out to the more local places like Cornell Cooperative and the Shokan Stream water management program and things like that, because they will get the larger grants and then disperse them locally to the towns. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It also won't put as much responsibility on us, because that was my concern, taking on like a large project. I thought, well, there's only a few volunteers and we're spread thin enough as is, you know, I don't want to screw it up, and there's a whole fiduciary responsibility. So I'm still looking into that. It's taking a lot longer than expected, but there is a deadline of February 15th for some of this funding, Alex. So I am trying to get my ducks in a row. So do you want to maybe after this meeting, maybe tomorrow or something, kind of connect, and we could kind of brainstorm as far as what kind of funding we think that some of our projects would qualify for?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've read like a bunch of those plans now that we saw even from the Ulster meeting. And because we have such a limited amount of people, I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to get this done without a person who knows what they're doing, like a consultant of some sort. I mean, there's just, we're not going to do it.
I agree.
So, and it would make sense, because I think that also covers a lot of the things we've talked about wanting to get done, even, you know, like otherwise it feels like it would just kill so many birds. So if we can find money to get someone in who can like do all of that stuff and like report back to us on like what we're using and where we're using it, yeah, I think we should try to do it. So let's try to get, yeah, we should try to meet, I mean, it's a tight deadline, but we should.
I know. What was that?
I said we should try, right? Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll talk tomorrow. We can talk tomorrow and see.
Okay. And yeah, if we try and fail, at least we know for next time. There's another round in the fall. So
It would be interesting if potentially there was someone who had done that before, who had sort of a template that we could. Like Vern.
Yes, that's why I've been trying to get in touch with him.
He's the grant guy for Socrates.
The what?
Vern's the grant guy for Socrates.
I know, he's the guy. I know, he's the
Yeah.
guy.
Wouldn't it be so nice if someone who was like in touch with him all the time just, you know, I don't know, just put it
I'm not in
word
favor
in.
of grant. I think this money deal is a ruse.
Well, it would
I
help
think
us.
Alice got it right about a year ago. She said, well, why do we spend all this time? It sounds like airplanes are going to fly above and just drop money on Woodstock once we get our certification. And I'm waiting.
Oh, you think we're not going to get any money, Ken?
I don't know.
Wait, Kingston got $1 million.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I read on the Grants Gateway all the grants that people got in the past few years. Kingston got $1 million for one of their projects.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ulster County or Kingston?
Kingston.
Wow. Well, maybe
People are
that's
getting
what.
like 50 grand for like greenhouse gas inventories.
So Ken, when you do these reports about greenhouse gas inventory, you know, how would you like to get some compensation for it? That's how this works.
Why? Send me a check.
Get
I
us
would make
Vern,
you-
get us
Yeah.
Vern, and we'll get you a check, Ken.
Ken, you gotta stop using the auto
There
tune.
it is.
That wouldn't make you feel dirty, Ken?
My internet is. No.
I think your granddaughter is sabotaging your connection. You're like a
No,
commercial.
I was the Ulster County representative. Yeah,
We lost
I'm
you.
losing
Well,
you.
she complains about the internet all the time, and I don't want to fix it.
Yeah, we're losing you, Ken. We're just hearing the end of a couple things that you're saying. Yeah.
It's just not my granddaughter,
Sorry.
it's everyone's granddaughter.
Well, speaking of granddaughters, a friend of mine just had a baby, so I'm gonna, like, literally while we were on this call, just had a baby in Socrates. In
Okay.
Socrates,
We lost Ken. Wow, that's exciting.
yeah. Yep. Yep. There were like pictures coming in.
Oh, so maybe you're the one who's screwing up Ken's connection.
I don't
There
think-
he is.
I don't think I can screw up. But that's,
Ken,
I
are
don't
you
think-
back?
Yes, I'm back.
Ooh, sound crystal clear.
It would be nice if we could get someone who can do the greenhouse gas inventory and the solid and the waste
We
inventory.
have the greenhouse gas inventories done.
That's Ken's wheelhouse.
But isn't that only for the town?
Well, actually, we have it done for the town, the whole community.
You do?
We do?
Yeah.
Would you just keep it at home?
No,
Ken,
no,
have-
this was a secret I found by looking at other towns. They just submitted work which was done in like 2010 by the regional council. And they got
So-
16 points.
Yeah, but
We're
Ken,
doing-
we also, I think aside from getting the points in a marginally cheating way, don't we also want the updated information so that we can actually take that information and use it in real time?
Well, you can update, you can use the old information I mean, the fact that something has gone up by 5% or 10% or gone down by 5 or 10% doesn't change your plan.
But I thought it was really interesting what they said at the Ulster meeting, that some of them were taking into account like their forest land, for example.
We've done that in our carbon neutral initiative. We took into account the forest land. We have 500 acres of forest set aside as our carbon sink.
So this is all done, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Wait. Because I think, Ken, I think you're talking about two things, which one I knew was done, the carbon neutral initiative for the town. But are you saying that you have a report or information on a community waste information?
I have nothing on waste.
But you have greenhouse gas emissions,
Yes,
Yes. He does.
including for things like driving?
yes.
So you have community greenhouse gas and not just government?
Everything.
All right. Yeah. Ken actually does send these reports out.
Well, I discovered that we could submit this old information and get the points. I mean, we've had this forever.
Cool.
So
In 2010.
when the carbon neutral initiative happened a couple of years, actually many years ago, Ken was on that project and Ken did a lot of these reports. Ken can actually calculate greenhouse gas emissions like in his head. None of the rest of us can, but Ken can.
You know, if you want to know what your carbon footprint is, you go to the website and say, how do I calculate the carbon footprint? And you come up with at least 50,000 websites will take you through the whole process.
But so Ken, do you think that whatever the old information is like fairly accurate, even considering like how many people move here?
They have accepted the old information for half the towns in Westchester.
No, but I
County.
mean, not for the points, but just for us, if we wanted to be able to accurately measure how things are changing over time.
Well, you only have one point. If you want to know how things are changing over time, you would have to redo that work for the
Yeah,
for
in
now.
the future. Or
Think
not,
about
right. But
technology.
do you think that it's fairly similar to what we have is, or do you think we should redo everything? Or is there a way to like extrapolate information?
You know, I think you ought to take a look at what we have and then decide what you want to do. But this is all comes back to the community climate action plan. I mean, if you don't have the action plan, your numbers are just randomly changing. It's nothing that you're doing to change them one way or the other.
Ken, let me ask you, from what year do you have community greenhouse gas emission information?
2010.
Okay, so that is a little bit dated now. Is there any way that we could get an updated community greenhouse gas inventory from you?
No,
Why
I don't
not?
have it.
What would it take to get it?
$100,000 consulting contract.
Okay. But it can be done.
Well, anything can be done.
And
Okay.
do you think that $100,000 could also cover things like waste,
No,
solid waste? No.
I mean, the whole
Ken's
county's
saying no,
working on
Alex,
solid.
because he hates solid waste and he doesn't want anything to do with it. Am I right, Ken?
Right, exactly, but
But solid
you know, if you want-
waste and greenhouse
Waste.
gas emissions are linked.
They're totally linked.
They're
Yeah.
this. They're this.
Yes.
Like when you do that
Or
thing
you
with the
have to-
church. Just,
Have
it would be nice
greenhouse
to
gas
only have
emissions
to
for
pay
the-
one time.
I mean, maybe it would be,
Why?
maybe there's better, you said that was done in 2010 and now we're 11 years later, maybe there's better technology for it and it'll be done quicker and cheaper.
That's a great idea.
Well, this work was done by the Mid-Hudson Valley Regional Council.
So, but I would think
You know, the
at this
Mid-Hudson
point, it could be,
Council would have to redo it.
right, they would have to redo it, but don't you think it could be done faster now? Because they probably have better equipment and technology 11 years later than they had in 2010. Especially
Well, I
now,
don't know.
there's so many people.
I don't know how the technology changes for calculating greenhouse gases.
Well, I don't know, it just seems,
It's a good question. Like maybe the data is available in a more easily or readily accessible format. Whereas
Yeah.
before, maybe you had to hunt and peck to get the information, and now it's all consolidated. That wouldn't
Well,
surprise me.
I'll send you all the information. I mean, it's all online.
Okay.
What was the news that I found out just recently, over my Christmas vacation, was that you could submit this stuff as a community greenhouse gas emissions.
Don't you think that we want an updated version?
No, we have no need for an updated version. We're not going to do anything. We have no plan for anything. We have a plan to do something. Then we say, well, what are we going to accomplish?
Ken, if we move forward this year and we do a community action plan, that involves greenhouse gas emissions and inventory.
Right. And
Okay,
we have
so-
the same inventory that the city of Kingston has, and we have the same inventory that Red Hook has. Same sources of inventory. And we have the same sources of inventory as half the towns in Westchester County have.
But do we really? Because you just said we have a 500 acres of a carbon sink. If we've got all this great forest, we've got a better situation than the city of Kingston.
I think
Wouldn't
he
that
just
stand to
means
reason?
that they similarly used old data.
Yeah, I mean, it's that there's one set of data for all the Mid-Hudson Valley on carbon greenhouse gas emissions. Now, we broke out the town because the town, collects the information and it's easy to do, but it's much more difficult to do the entire community.
okay. I've been on Zoom since 2:00 this afternoon, so
Go.
I'm about. Okay,
Go.
I'll follow up with this stuff. And
Thank you.
thank you all. Good to see you.
Thanks, Jess.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, Jeff.
Hi.
Bye.
Actually, I do want to wrap it up. So Ken, maybe I'll call you tomorrow to further talk about greenhouse gas, because I know it's tedious stuff. I'm trying my best to understand it, but maybe a
I'll
fresh
send you
after
the
I've had a
report. You
fresh.
have to read it first, though.
Okay.
I'll
Promise.
send
Will
you the
you-
report.
Ken, will
After
you
you
send
read
it-
it, call me with a question.
Will you send it to me too, please?
Yes, I'll send it to everyone that was on the call.
I mean, it just seems like if we can get something paid for, if we could get something paid for in the short amount of time that we have, wouldn't it be nice to have the updated information to work off of? And if we cannot get it paid for, then the second best thing would be our 2010 information.
All right, so we'll
I-
table community
If you
greenhouse
wanna
gas
ask for,
emissions.
If you want to ask for consulting, funds, don't do it for greenhouse gas emissions. Do it for a community action plan, like Kingston is doing.
Which the greenhouse gas emission will fall under.
Yeah, aren't they isn't it, would be the
It would
same
be
thing.
part of that.
Forget greenhouse gas emissions. You just need to do something that'll affect it.
So Ken, we could hire a consultant and feed them the data that we have for 2010,
Which they would already have, actually.
and they would already have it, and they would just go from there, is what you're saying?
I don't think we need to update those data. Next thing you need to do is decide what it is you're going to do.
Decided the community action plan.
Climate action plan.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna look to get funding for, because that'll encompass a lot of this stuff we're talking about.
Well, I think it's, you know, you're just turning over what we should do to someone else.
What?
You know, we should be deciding what we want to do for Woodstock. And collecting numbers isn't the top of the list.
Okay. Okay, so it is the top of the hour and I do have to get off the Zoom call.
But I
But,
would suggest that, you know, you review the existing Kingston Climate Action Plan and the Red Hook Climate Action Plan and understand what it is they're doing to improve the community's climate position.
All right, so you have those, Alex, because I sent those to you, right? You have the Red Hook, and then you can also get the Kingston one off of the Climate Smart website.
I have it.
So,
Don't I have it? I have it.
Yeah, you should have it. Yes, you should have it.
Yeah, I've been
So
making my way
let's-
through them.
All right, so that'll be our homework.
You
Let's
hire a
all
consultant,
familiarize.
the first thing the consultant's going to ask you is, what is it you want to do? I mean, the consultant is holding a public hearing to find out what the community wants.
But wait a minute, time out. Why are we asking what the community wants? Because I know human beings and they're so dumb.
Well, they haven't really thought about that.
I mean,
For
isn't the
sure.
point of the consultant that the consultant tells us what to do because they're better informed?
Yes, but you also have to have public input. So you need to say, you have to allow the public to say, oh, we think that, you know, Woodstock should have their own transfer station instead of me having to go to Saugerties all the time. Or, you know, we should mow and cut down all those trees because there's a bunch of ticks in there. Like, you still need to have community, the public to have it has to be allowed to have input when you're doing things that involve funding.
Of course, some of those things came under the comprehensive plan. And the Como specifically comes under the Como conservation easement. But yeah, I mean, you got to think about what it is you want to accomplish.
Yes.
Grants is not an accomplishment, in my viewpoint. I think you have to come up, I think you have to come up with something you want to actually achieve. Like a reduction in traffic or eliminate parking spots or, you know, I mean, something that makes climate sense. And the consultant can't really tell us. I mean, all they can do is tell you the possibilities, but they're the same possibilities which are listed in the Kingston plan and the Red Hook plan.
So
Well, I plan on going to the meeting tomorrow. Sorry. What were you gonna
okay,
say,
so I do have one question. It's a bigger picture question that we don't have to answer right now. I know part of it is the communication with the town, obviously. I'd be curious to know how they've sold this in other towns.
How they,
The meeting tomorrow. Sorry.
well,
What were
you
you
know,
gonna
these
say,
other
Cam?
plans, the ones from Red Hook and Kingston, the existing ones came from 2012. So Kingston is updating
But
theirs, and they're just having off up tomorrow evening.
But
I
in
don't know
other
if
words,
To my understanding,
oh, go ahead, Erin.
okay, to my understanding, the meeting tomorrow is the kickoff for the community action plan for Kingston. So I think I expect to go there. I'm hoping to go there and to learn a lot and to see. It's basically them starting their community action plan.
But this, you know, they already have a
So-
community action plan which expires next year. So they have to do an update.
Okay.
Oh, it sounded like it was finished.
They their community, they have a community action plan, which has been in place since 2012. Aaron took me through the pathway of various websites to show it to me this afternoon. What they're doing is redoing the community action plan.
So this is the beginning of a new one.
It's the beginning of a new one.
Oh, okay. What I read made it sound very much like the plan was finished and they were now trying to get it into actually happening.
So I'm
No.
going as a spy. How's that?
No, I think it's a great idea to go to see what
Yeah.
how this goes.
So do you know if you'll be able to make that, Alex? I know everybody's just got meetings left and right.
Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Thursday?
Say at 5:30.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna really try to go. Ken, are you gonna be able to go attend or no?
Aaron, do you think it's recorded? Is it gonna be like viewable after the fact?
I'll find out.
Yes, it'll be
I can-
recorded.
Yeah, like I
Well-
can definitely watch it tomorrow night. My kids have therapy tomorrow, so sometimes it's difficult, but
Okay.
Yeah, Kingston records all their meetings and posts them on YouTube.
all right. So worst case, I'll watch it afterwards. But I'm very curious how people are putting what they think is the best. You know, if we come up with 10 ideas that we think are great, and then everyone's like, but we don't want to have to carpool.
Or ride our bicycles to work
Or like, I don't want to look at
run
solar
out to
panels.
coffee. Yeah.
You know, like where are they going next? Or like, is it, you know, like how are they dealing with those things? So I would be curious to know.
Yeah,
That's
I would suggest the starting point to answering those questions to look at what the action items were in the 2012 Kingston and Red Hook climate action plans. I mean, that's the starting point. I mean, Red Hook's a comparable community, about the same size we
Yeah,
are.
it is.
For resources, I mean,
Yeah.
and so it's hard to compare with Kingston because they have a full staff of people to do this work.
It seems like we can't even get our small group of like 8 people to agree on what is the best thing to do.
Yes.
Well,
it
that's,
does.
we need more discussion on it because just meeting once a month for checkpoints where I mean, that was fine for last year because what we were doing is simply submitting work which had already been done over the years for the climate, for the carbon neutral initiative, and for what the WEC had done, just submitting completed work into the website. So that was kind of, is this done, is that done type of checklist for meetings. But now we're in a new role in that we have to do new stuff. And we have the climate and we had the natural resources inventory. What came after that? We have this resiliency planning, which will lead to additional things. And the climate action plan for the community will lead to other things we could do. But it's going to take some discussion to understand the options. It's not
Ken,
just.
can I ask you your opinion on something? And can you give us like a super brief answer? Knowing, and I say that because I know that you'll know like the intricacies of a real thought out answer, but like a yes or no would be fine for now at this point. I know you don't like, you're not the fondest of like the CLCPA. Do you think it makes sense if we try to go with the same goals that that the state is going with? Or do you think that we need to like try to reinvent the wheel just for Woodstock, in your opinion?
Well, Woodstock already has a plan for 100% carbon-free energy, electrical energy. So we've already met, or we haven't actually met it yet, but we have signed contracts to be at 100% carbon-free energy for the town government.
But what about the peeps?
What about the what?
The peeps of the town, the people.
The people? Well, that you're dependent on Central Hudson.
No, I mean, I'm just wondering, like, do you think it makes sense to try to make our end goal something similar to that? Or do you think it makes sense to try to come up with our own end goal, is my question.
Well, the end goal for the town now is 100% carbon-free electricity by 2040.
But for the town,
For,
government.
no, for the entire town. I mean, that's what CLCPA means. That's, if we do nothing, that's what we achieve.
So should we make that be the end goal of the climate action plan is my question.
Well, for the town climate action plan,
Or do we want a different goal?
government
Community
action
climate
plan is
action
already
plan.
achieved. We've already achieved that goal for electricity. And we've reached the end of the technology options on the town government. Is this your short answer you're asking for? But
Yeah, no, yes, this is yes.
the CLCPA defines what the town, what the community is going to have as far as electricity. You know, it defines 70% renewable by 2030. So that's what Central Hudson will deliver by 2030 is 70% renewable electricity. We have to do nothing else to achieve that. By 2040, it says 100% carbon-free electricity, which includes things like nuclear power. So we have to do nothing to achieve that. And by 2050, we're supposed to be at 85% carbon-free economy. That's what CLCP says. So the question comes down to, what are you going to do beyond CLCP? Because CLCP is the base.
Okay, so you're saying past that
Yeah.
for this.
I mean,
Okay. Yeah, that was the answer I'm looking for, is what you think the end
Okay.
goal should be.
because the end goal is, you know, by state law is CLCPA.
Sorry,
And we're
it's
not
so loud in my house right now.
building solar panels, building all, you know, renewable energy sources. That's up to the utilities and these groups. I'm running a class on this over at Bard in a couple of months. I have like 7 presenters coming in: Mark Lowry, Ann Reynolds. You know, Mark is the guy in charge of the Climate Smart program of the state. Ann Reynolds is on the Climate Action Council.
Can I
So
audit
Bill
that
Acker,
class?
who's on.
Are you suggesting we should apply to college?
Well, I mean, you have to
I'm
be
just-
already signed up to go to this.
I'm
And,
just
you know,
gonna
I
show
have
up. I
the-
know the
the guy-
teacher. What are you
from
gonna do?
Sun
Kick me
Common.
out? Are you gonna kick
I'm
me
not
out,
teaching
Ken?
that. I'm the producer. And we have Central Hudson coming in. You know, I mean, it's whole thing is, we're gonna have Jen Metzger coming in. It was a little difficult since she lost the election, but she more or less agreed to help present you know, what's going on.
Jen did
Hmm?
agree to come and speak to us privately at some point if we wanted her to either to this group or to the
Yeah.
WEC.
Yeah, well, she spoke to the Environmental Management Council a couple of months ago. So, I mean, you know, it's useful for the WEC to understand what its relationship is with CLCPA. But, you know, the basic is sort of understanding what it actually is to begin with. Because you have all these people coming in saying, well, we have CLCPA, you have to buy solar panels. Well, I mean, that's not true.
Okay.
You know,
That was
the towns
That was a
Well-
very good, thank you, Ken, for that answer. It's the perfect length.
Well, I mean, so I mean, you know, if there's more questions and more discussions, I've kept pretty close track of this. As a matter of fact, I probably should, do you have a copy of the CLCPA law?
Yeah, I've seen it. A number.
Well, there's 2 versions. One is the actual version that comes out of the Senate, which is unreadable. And the other version is I converted it to a Word format with, paragraphs and headings and so on, which is actually quite readable.
Oh, send us
And-
the readable version. Why not? There was a
What?
very good rundown about it at the temple last year, a year ago. I don't know, before COVID, obviously.
Yeah, I went to that.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah. But, this is all the details. And a lot of people tell you stuff which isn't in the law. They say, well, it's 100% renewable. It's not 100% renewable. It doesn't require 100% renewable.
All right, I'm gonna stop us there because we're almost 15 minutes
Well,
over.
let's see, I got a lot of stuff for me. Let's see, you want the climate action plans from, well, you already have it from Red Hook and then from Kingston. Then the 2010 data, community data, and then CLCPA readable.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it, the readable version.
Well, I mean, when it comes out of the Senate, they don't even leave blank spaces between the lines. I mean, you can't. So I scanned the whole thing and converted it to Microsoft Word and, properly formatted it so you could actually read it. Then
Wow.
an opportunity to add in some references. I mean, they say Executive Order 24 in 2009. Well, you can add that into a Word document so you know what it is.
And you did all that.
Yeah, when it came out a year and a half ago.
Professor Panza.
I know. All
I don't know
right. What?
I mean, I get the impression people talk about CLCPA and they haven't even read it.
Yeah, that's probably true. On that note, I wanted to have the next meeting. I wanted to change these meetings to the second Wednesday of the month. So the next one would be February 10th. I think piggybacking on the WEC meeting is too much because sometimes the WEC meetings run close to 2 hours, especially lately. And I'd like to have the ability to not feel rushed for this
Our new
call.
chair is going to shorten them up.
Sorry, what?
Our new chair will shorten them up.
Oh, today I was already figuring out how to get everyone to make it longer than an hour.
Oh, okay.
And I still didn't hear what you said. I apologize.
He said he thinks I'll shorten the meetings.
If you're on them or not on them.
No, that I'll figure out how to make the WEC meetings shorter.
Oh, all right. I apologize. Okay. Sorry, guys.
You're wildly wrong. We're going.
Julia was pretty good. She cut people off and moved on.
Yes, she did. She was punctual. All right. So 2:10, I'll send an email out since it's down to just us anyway. I am going to have to just coordinate that with Ashley. Anything else before we go that you wanted to say? We have a lot of stuff to walk away from and think about and meetings to attend and spy on other things, but I'm hopeful that we will do it.
No, I think, I think having these conversations to talk through what we do next are important.
Okay.
And of course, the other open item we didn't talk about was what's happening with the resiliency work.
Actually, I could give you an update on that. I spoke to Brent and I asked him, so it's moving along. He's starting to get the first draft of the tool. And I actually said to him kind of, okay, I can't find my notes from the call. It's moving along. He's working on the first draft. He is starting to build the tool, which the tool is basically an Excel spreadsheet that we'll be able to use in the end. So, but I can give a better update at the next WEC meeting, which I think is appropriate.
Okay.
There.
And I'll send you all
right.
the material.
Erin, will you send
right.
me just whatever you have? I feel like I'm not in the loop with what's going on with that because I know Julia kind of sends everything over to you, but I know nothing. Guess
Okay, absolutely.
I send out, you're on the mailing list.
No, they just the sort of that climate resiliency stuff Julia was handling, and then kind of passed it over to Erin, who is obviously does a wonderful job. But I felt stupid the other day when I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, that's actually my bad. I should really be better at communicating because that's what I'm supposed to do, right? I'm supposed to keep you abreast of what's going on and give you the kind of summary. So I will definitely circle back with you and do that. So that's my bad.
Okay, and we'll talk tomorrow anyway.
Yes, we have a lot. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And on that note, 7:18, I'm going to call the meeting. Thank you guys very much for coming and thank you for staying. I appreciate it. And Ken, once
Well,
again, thanks for your wisdom.
On the second Wednesday, there's no.
You gotta do something about your connection, Ken.
No
All
more
right.
dial up,
My
Ken.
connection is. No more dial-up, I know.
All right. Well, I'll call you tomorrow morning, Ken. How's that? Or you call me.
Not too early. I have this other conference call in the morning from the Hudson River Watershed Association.
He's cheating on us, basically, and he's rubbing it in our face. Okay.
All right, good
Ken.
night. I'm gonna go yell at my kids right now. See you guys later.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you very much, Ashley. Thank you for staying. I appreciate it.
All right, so long.
Okay. All right. Bye.